Here we are with the final FPS game from the History Channel. Once known for history is now known for aliens, Bigfoot, and reality TV, and whatever else crap they always air. This game is called History Channel Battle for the Pacific, released in the year 2007 for Xbox 360, PS3, and PC, with a completely different version released on Wii and PS2 by another developer. Today we'll be looking at the last of the trilogy on PC and see if there's anything possibly good, as after two garbage games in a row, there must be something redeemable about this FPS trilogy from a former educational network, right? Right? This game is going to be good, right? Please, let there be something good about it. Oh god, please.
Well, he's in for quite a surprise.
History Channel's last FPS game is all about World War II. Except not really, just the Pacific Theater. Except not really, it's just 6 locations over the course of 10 missions. Except not really.
Oh, come on!
It's actually just 6 missions stretched out with repeating sections, so you got Iwo Jima 1, Iwo Jima 2, and Iwo Jima 3, for example. Yep, they count these as separate missions. There's no unique characters, you're just a nobody, fighting alongside nobodies. You will never meet any historical figures like MacArthur or any Japanese officers. It's just a generic run and gun over the course of an hour. Yes, about 1 hour of gameplay. You get about 1 fucking hour of gameplay out of this game. And this was released for $50 back in the day too. Let that sink in.
What the fuck?
The controls are still pretty much standard. The only thing that's really changed is you can no longer sprint. Why? Oh, but don't worry, the Q button is finally your melee button, and E is your action key instead of F. Otherwise, everything else is the same. The overall feel of how this game plays is pretty much nothing special. Just think of it as a bargain bin Call of Duty sitting next to all those unopened moldy copies of Max Payne 3 for Xbox 360. The movement is less stiff than ever before, yet not being able to sprint really hurts this game's pacing since you move rather slow and your allies move way faster than you. What am I playing as? A chain smoker? If there's one thing I hated about both Civil War games, it was how badly the gunplay felt and how inaccurate the guns were. So much so, you could fire repeatedly at someone in the face up close and still miss 99.9% of the time. But here, that's not an issue. So much so, I rarely used iron sights. Yep, it's that easy to shoot people in this game. While it's only the Pacific Theater, you're still going to be missing out on tons of weapons. The only ones I noticed were the M1 Garand, M1911, Thompson, Type 100, Type 38, Bar, and the Type 96 LMG. Yep, that's it. And you must always carry your pistol with you. You cannot swap that out for the better guns. Out of all weapons, the M1911 is quite possibly the worst offender in this game.
Take cover! We're outflanked! Ass!
You still have turret sections, but they're so brief I forget they even existed. So I'll give Cauldron credit for not dragging these things out, unlike in Civil War secret missions. Oh, and yes, they still suck. There's no satisfaction in shooting the AA guns.
I'm gonna send you home in a box!
or even the LMG for the literal one section in the beginning of the game you use it. Seriously, you'll never use it again after this. You use the AA gun more than the LMG. Why? I'd rather gun down Imperial forces than pelt planes that don't even give you the feedback in comparison to people flopping everywhere from having their internal organs turned into mush from a motherfucking literal machine gun.
Good shooting, Demise. Keep it up, Hey!
Nice.
Overall, the gunplay is the smoothest of all three games, but nothing special still, far behind World at War and other World War II shooters at the time. At least they nailed the M1 Garand.
Yeah, boy.
Much like Call of Duty and every other FPS game, Battle for the Pacific is highly linear, with all that Hollywood Michael Bay-esque jazz to boot. So expect to fail quite often because in Battle for the Pacific, you're always forced to follow another character. Well, character in quotes due to there being no unique characters. Just generic soldiers as per usual with cauldron war shooters. But yeah, anyways, because you must always follow another person at all times, even if you're getting blown up by mines or getting turned into Swiss cheese like Sonny Corleone. Otherwise...
Enemy near! Right flank! What?
But then again, sometimes the guide NPC won't move forward until you clear the way. To which, even then, once the objective is completed, you better bum rush back to them, otherwise you'll still fail. Fuck you!
Excellent work, Private! That's an order!
Not funny.
But that's not even the worst of this game. Oh no. You gotta replay entire levels with different pathways to pad out the game. Yep, get ready to revisit location after location after location, seeing the same models of soldiers, trees, rocks, ground textures, and more. Even though you're playing in several different locations such as Wake Island, Bataan, Guadalcanal, Leyte, Luzon, and Iwo Jima, yet with the footage on screen, you'd be surprised to know I'm not copy and pasting footage to fool you. What you're seeing are different levels and locations. Yep, it's that bad of an asset flip. Cauldron was so lazy.
Oh dear God.
Just like any Cauldron game, you can expect this one to feature mentally challenged AI. I mean, they're literally so bad at times, I felt like I was playing a Bethesda game. Seriously, they're either charging into your gunfire, or your allies are just standing there, glitching out, so you cannot progress the level.
Sir, contact has been established. The village is still under American control and preparations for the convoy are in progress. They're waiting for us to escort them.
Let's head for the village. On the double. I need this gun silenced. On my command. Go! Go! Damn you! Damn you! Face me, you coward! Your life ends here! Come on, come on!
Unlike in previous games, you do get allies that will help. In fact, I barely had to fight most enemies because the friendly NPCs would just dominate them. It's like playing Unreal Tournament, but only your team has the high difficulty AI enabled. But of course, they'll still have their moments. Sometimes NPCs will just drop dead, or die so abruptly you can't help but laugh at the stupidity of it all. So good job, Cauldron. It only took you several years to make the most bitch basic FPS game from the PS2 era on the Xbox 360 era.
Watch out! Watch out! Zero's incoming!
This game is overall short. You won't be playing for more than a little over 1 hour and 30 minutes at most if you don't skip any narration or the credits. Oh, and yes, the ending is quite possibly up there with Rage and Far Cry 5 in terms of bullshit.
Come with me! Move! This is it! We've won! Victory is ours!
But yeah, overall the game is still boring. I mean, with mediocre gunplay, terrible AI, no memorable characters, lack of weapons, highly repetitive restrictive level design and more, it all just adds up to a lot of snorefest. Especially once you start to experience the horrors of bad LOD. And for the console plebs out there, that means level of detail due to rendering distance. The closer you get to a model, the more detail appears on everything, and the further you get, it becomes a PlayStation 1 model / texture. But this game decided to kick it up a notch and have shit spawn in right in front of you. It's like a bad Square Enix PC port all over again.
You will follow me, and this is an order! Move, damn it! Move! Move!
Yep.
Do I look like a happy camper to you?
I know you told your friend you're not okay.
Didn't think so.
The PC port is quite possibly the worst one of the 3 games. You're literally only able to change the resolution. With, yep, no 16:9 support still. There's no shadows, textures, detail distance, etc. anymore. Oh no 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 no! That would be too complicated for Cauldron to do apparently after making 3 fucking games in a fucking row. Oh, and there's no sound effects and voice audio options. You only have sound and music. So you can't make it easier to hear anyone talking during the game over all the explosions and whatnot. I mean, why make it easier to understand what's going on, right? So don't worry, when you get a random game over because you didn't hear the officers you were following say, hey, you're not following orders, and they're going a different direction. Meanwhile, you're in a gunfight to only have it end abruptly because you didn't realize they were going in a different direction because they were saying, hey, we're going in a different direction, but you couldn't hear over the fucking gunfire and explosions happening every fucking second during the fucking game.
It's just bad.
And with that, we are done.
It's over. It's finally over.
We've reviewed all 3 History Channel FPS games. Boy howdy, what a ride. Not as bad as every sports game for Atari 2600 or every WWE wrestling game for PS2.
Is that all?
This one was easily the least offending of all 3, and I was more interested in this one given its World War II. But also because, unlike Civil War 1 and 2, This game's gunplay was smoother, the pacing was better, and the controls were better as well. It's kinda hard to decide the ranking, but in the future, it'll appear in the compilation. Anyways, let's wrap this one up, shall we?
Well, yes.
At the end of the day, History Channel's Battle for the Pacific is a mediocre game I can kind of recommend, but barely. It's somewhat playable, but barely. The PC port is so bare bones. The gunplay is improved over the Civil War games, but that's not saying much. And of course, every mission is dragged on for too long, featuring the same assets and locations. It's just a poor man's Call of Duty World at War. And at that point, just play the PS2 version of World at War, even though it's its own game and nothing to do with the 7th generation version. It looks way better than this game. Honestly though, I'm glad to be done with this trilogy of Dookie. I'll put up a ranking when the compilation comes out later in the year. For now, however, we gotta get a few other games still to complete even more compilations, such as The Sims 3 for Wii, and maybe a few Warriors Orochi games. So till then, anyways, that's it for this video. See y'all later.
I need this gun silence on my command. Go! Go! Damn